Welcome to the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast, where we don't take from insurance companies. Here are your hosts, Mr. Jordan Comstock and Mr. Ben Tuine. This podcast is sponsored by BoomCloud Dental Membership Software, www.boomcloudapps.com, and Veritas Dental Resources, www.veritasdentalresources.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast. My name is Jordan Comstock. Today, we have a guest who's been on our show. And for those of you out there that are listening that are wondering where Ben is again, he's probably just sleeping in. I'm just teasing. I said that last time, but he had a meeting, so he couldn't make it today. But Ben, we miss you. I always miss you when you're not in the podcast. You're a stud. So today we have an awesome guest. Last week I was just at the Dental Success Summit with Dr. Mark Costes and all that crew down there in Arizona. It was an awesome event. If any of you guys that are listening, if you didn't go, you should go next year. That Mark does a great job at that conference, and it seems to keep growing and getting better as time goes on. So go and check out the Dental Success Summit that Mark Costes puts on. But this weekend I was hanging out with a bunch of people down there and got reconnected with my good friend Beth Bogan from Ace Chat. She was on our show last year where we talked about live chat services. So Beth, how are you doing today?
I am great. Thanks again for having me. And I will also do a shout out to Ben, who's a longtime client of ours.
Yeah, absolutely.
We miss you too, Ben. So sorry that you're sleeping in. And really, honestly, Jordan, we're both just jealous.
I am jealous. No, Ben, you're awesome, man.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to Dental Success Summit because This was my 4th year at the summit, and I have seen it grow.
4th year, huh?
It was my 4th year, and I have seen it grow just by leaps and bounds every year, and the resources there that are available to dentists really looking to grow their practice and serious about making smart changes to grow their practice are just, I think, invaluable.
Absolutely, yeah.
Ashley and the team down there with Dr. Cuss, they do a great job. So highly suggest.
And they're just fun people to hang out with. So that's always good, right? So, but today I'm really excited because today we're going to talk about live chat on the website. So many of you know that I am the founder of BoomCloud, but I also own another company called RocketFire, which we do dental websites for practices, and we have a turnkey support and maintenance solution for practices. And one of the big things that I've always recommended, and I've always done on a lot of my sites, is creating live chat. I think one of the biggest problems, I just actually wrote an article that I just submitted yesterday to dentistryIQ.com about how to fix problems with your website, right, in regards to generating leads. And I think having a live chat system on your dental website is probably one of the best things you can do to, number one, build your email list and generate leads for your practice. And because leads are the bread and butter of any business. If you're not consistently generating new leads, that is a problem in any business. So, Beth, I'm going to turn the time over to you. Can you explain to our audience what live chat? Well, first of all, explain how you got into doing this live chat service and how you got doing it for dentists. I think that's always a good thing to start with, and then we'll start with the questions.
Sure. So the very short version of a really neat long story is that both my sister Joanne and we actually co-own Ace Chat together. I'm kind of the face, and she does a lot of behind the scenes work. But we were both working for a chat company, and they went out of business. And Joanne just said, you know what, Beth, I really think we can pick up the ball and run with this. And we did. So that's the very short version. But we ultimately were looking to find positions that we could grow a company within the confines of taking also care of our family. So it's really neat. We employ women who are also very family oriented, and our whole company is just pro family. So
That's awesome.
we get to do all of the work that we love to do and still be present and important in the lives of our families, which is huge for us. And that's why we do what we do, really.
I love that. Yeah.
So when we started, picking up the ball and running with it, one of our first clients was a dentist we had chatted with on the other site. And I called and said, what if we did this? Would you be willing to, kind of be our guinea pig and let us try it? And of course, he is familiar with the quality of the work that we did. He's still a client of ours. That was back in 2011. Nice. And we love working with him, but they've been also very supportive in sharing, their experience with us as well. So we've had a lot of neat referrals from him too.
Very cool. Very cool. No, I love that. I love your why. That's always good to have a why. I think that's here at Boom Cloud, and Rocket Fire, we're definitely family oriented, and want to make sure that all of our team, takes care of their family. And I think that's a great goal for any company to have. So for those practices that have no idea what live chat is, can you explain to them what it is, and we'll go from there?
Absolutely. So when you go to a website and a little pop-up happens and says, hey, we're here to help, that's live chat. Most simply stated, what we're doing with live chat is creating relationships that offer your patients the opportunity to receive the care they need, they deserve, and they desire, which really makes a difference in the quality of their lives and health. And they can do that directly from their phone, from their laptop, from their desktop, from their tablet. But it's just a conversation, all typing, that helps people answer basic questions. We help with site navigation, and we just want to give as much help as possible on the front side to really build that relationship. Because the real question is, how many potential patients are going to your website and then not calling to make an appointment? They're just leaving.
Yep. It happens all the time.
It happens all the time. And so you've got an opportunity with live chat to get those basic questions answered. Cool. It's kind of a no-brainer for practices who are doing marketing and driving traffic to their site to really give them patients an opportunity to connect with them on a level that they feel comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the biggest benefits, just from my experience using chat on my own sites, is it kind of humanizes the web, right? Where a patient or a visitor, goes to a site and it's just not silence and blank and nobody's reaching out to them. I think it's always good to humanize the web because it's a more personal approach, with patients. I think that's really what, in my opinion, that's one of the biggest benefits, because dentistry is a relationship business, and if you like what Beth said, if you are driving traffic and doing marketing, generating traffic, then you need to have a solution to reach out and build the relationships right from the website, which I think is pretty powerful, that what you do there, Beth. So in your company, who is doing the live chatting? So let me get this straight. You set up the live chat system on a practice's website, and then you actually help assist the practice answer the questions, correct?
That is correct. So what we do is work directly with your webmaster to implement the chat. The implementation problem is actually it's very easily. It's just a 10-minute implementation for your webmaster. So it's hands off for the practice. Super simple. And you've actually done it for Ben's site, so you know how easy it is.
Yeah, because Rocket Fire manages Ben's site, so it's very simple. It's like 2 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah. So my team, sorry, we got a delay there. My team actually does the chat for the practice. I mean, they're all here in the U.S. Nothing is outsourced overseas, and that's really important to us as well. Yeah. And you can tell through a typed conversation whether or not somebody's really here in the U.S.
Totally. I just realized that the other day I was on a website and the bad grammar and everything, and I'm like, I don't know if this person knows exactly what I'm saying.
And so we work really hard to get to know our practices so we can answer as much information as possible. But one little interesting study that I wanted to mention too was back in September of last year, a consumer research study from Oracle found that with the customers they pulled, 90% said live chat. That button there just gives them the confidence that they can get help if they need it.
Yeah.
So 73% of people are really choosing live chat now over email or phone service
Absolutely.
as well. So it's definitely preferred mode of communication.
Yeah, in fact, whenever I go to a website and if they have live chat, that's the first. And if I have like a deep burning question that I need to get out, about the service or product, if they have live chat, that's the very first thing I go to. I never look for an email address. I want my answers and I want it now. Right?
Well, and it's just convenient.
It's very convenient, yeah. And then on top of that, what comes to my mind is there's practices, or not practices, patients that may not have time, or maybe they're afraid to call and talk on the phone, right? I know my wife, she never wants to talk on the phone, right? If she has to talk on the phone, she texts me and say, hey, can you call this person for me, or this practice or this office, whatever. She does not like talking on the phone. And I know there's a handful of people out there that either don't have time to talk on the phone or are afraid to talk on the phone, right? So I think that's definitely just another channel of communication to the patients that are visiting a website.
Agreed. And actually, two things about that. For practices in particular that are offering or really marketing to patients who wish to be sedated or need to be sedated or are fearful or hesitant on any level, chat is the first way that they are going to communicate, because
Totally.
They can ask questions from behind the safety of their screen. They can, if they choose to, remain completely anonymous. But we actually had a patient comment, actually February early this year. I noted the date and time. This was about one of our chat reps, agents, Laura. She was very helpful and friendly and made me feel not so embarrassed about going for help.
Nice.
And that's an actual comment that these patients, especially with sedation, they are terrified and they can't pick up that phone. They're not ready. So this gives them an avenue to communicate that is safe and comfortable for them.
Yeah, I love that. So, Beth, what are some of the most common or popular questions people chat online with dental practices?
Well, they will ask you pretty much anything.
Anything.
And sometimes it's just as simple as, are you taking new patients? Because
okay, is that pretty common out there?
It is a common question. And of course we get the insurance questions.
Yes.
Because people want to know if they take whatever. Or I don't have insurance. Can I afford you? And then, of course, we can direct them to their in-office membership plan.
Yeah, that's what you do.
And that's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
We also field phone calls all the time chats for offices who don't accept Medicaid, and their office team doesn't need to be on the phone handling that call. We're able to tell that person,
great.
We don't accept this, but here's where you can go. Here's a resource for you to seek help.
So you're actually saving the practice time and weeding out the patients that they can't work with.
Correct.
Wow, I think that's a huge time saver, because as I think we all know listening to this show, an office manager or a staff member is extremely spread thin most days. The other day my mom is a dental office manager for a pediatric office. In fact, they're just right down the street from my office here, where Boom Cloud is. And I was there visiting their office the other day, and I swear my mom barely had 2 seconds to talk to us, and it was a scheduled meeting. Everyone was coming and talking to her, and patients were coming in, and it was just crazy. So having a live chat definitely can help, decrease that burden of managing all the patients that are contacting the practice, I would imagine.
It's a huge time saver for practices. The other thing, one of our offices does, and he's a long-term client of ours. We love working with him. One of the reasons we love working with him is because he makes us work for him. He says, hey, I've got this going on, or we're out of the office today for team training. And the more he keeps me in the loop, the better job I can be for him. And you know what? We've changed our pricing on this. We want to make sure you're saying this. They really are proactive on their feedback, which we love because we can do the best job possible for them the more feedback they give. But if a patient calls their office line and it says, we're not available to take you right now, go online and chat with us. So they actually field patients who they can't answer the phone to chat.
Wow. Awesome.
So,
Yeah.
and it's a great time saver. But the other thing that we do for another practice that we have is they have online text, or they have texting through their landline. And so
Okay.
they'll say for current patients that are just looking to get appointment reminders, we can text them. So, Jordan, you call and say, hey, or you chat and say, when's my next appointment? I can say, we're happy to look at that for you. Which location are you seen in? What's the name on your patient chart? We'll text that to you. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
just text from the office.
Yeah.
So again, the more that they're willing to loop us in and put us to work for them, the better job we can do.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, very cool. So another question that I have are, I think some of our audience, our listeners will be thinking, does live chat work on like their existing website, or they have to get a new website? And does it also work on mobile devices?
It does 99.9% of the time work on pretty much every website on the planet. I don't know
Cool.
how techy people are, but the bottom line is it's a snippet of HTML code. Your webmaster plugs it in, we're live.
Yeah, it's just copy and paste.
It's copy and paste. We're highly customizable, so we can do graphics to match. We can do placement, different placements on the site. We can do different timings for proactive invitations. Highly customizable. And it does. It works on mobiles, laptop, desktop, any kind of smart application, tablets. It's user friendly.
Great. So it's responsive or it's mobile friendly, and it fits on
Correct.
all the screen sizes, so people can chat with an office on any device. It's very cool. So I want to know, so your opinion, why would a practice need the live chat on their website?
So my guess is if practices are looking to grow, they have some sort of marketing plan in place.
Absolutely.
And if you have a marketing plan in place, people are going to your website to check you out.
Uh-huh.
So when people go to your website, what's your strategy to engage them? So what we're going to do is maximize that marketing strategy. So we're engaging more site visitors, and so you're therefore multiplying patient conversions. But we can also expand your office hours. We chat 8 to 8 Monday through Friday in every continental U.S. time zone. And then we can enhance your customer service. Again, we can also lighten the load of your in-office team by, having us. Let's try this again. It's like Monday all over again, isn't
That's
it?
fine, yeah.
By the office really having, putting us to work for them is what I'm looking to say.
Absolutely. Now, I had a question that came, as you were speaking, that came up. So if they're a new patient that's inquiring about, if they're accepting new patients and stuff, do practices give you like new patient forms to send to them so that they can fill those out before they come to the practice? Have you ever experienced that before?
Absolutely. So here's what we're
Cool.
going to do in a typical chat is we're going to greet them warmly, say, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
We're going to ask if they're a current patient or if we're going to be welcoming as a new patient, because we want to know that out of the gate. Who are we dealing with here? And then if it's a new patient, they probably have questions about the different treatments and procedures that are offered or insurance and things like that. We're going to share as much information as possible that's relevant to that patient's needs right from the website. So if they've got new patient forms on the website, we're sharing that.
Awesome.
If they have online scheduling capabilities, we're saying you can schedule online with us right now, and here's the link to do that.
Awesome. Are you seeing a lot of practices doing the online scheduling? I'm just curious about that.
It is on the rise.
It's on the
and
rise.
I think it's going to be like chat is still on the rise, and people are seeing more of a need for it now, but
Totally.
I think patients are going to want it and expect it.
I mean,
so if
I have
I
a
think
sketch. I have
pretty
both.
affordable.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I use both live chat and then an online scheduling service. I think that both softwares and tools are critical for a practice to succeed online.
Oh, I agree. And I think, with online scheduling, with live chat, you're just giving the patients as many options to suit their preferences as possible. It's win-win.
So with live chat, do you help book appointments too? Do you get access to the practice management software with the practice, and do you help them book appointments?
If it's online, yes, we're directing them to the online scheduling. If
Cool.
it's not online, we're going to say, hey, Jordan, what's the best day or time for us to reach out to you?
Oh,
And,
okay, I see.
you prefer mornings or afternoons. And we kind of let the office direct us on that as well. What's the best way you want us to handle this?
Yeah.
So when somebody signs up to be a client with us, I have an initial online checklist. I actually had a client tell me this. I say this all the time. He would rather run another Ironman than fill out my checklist.
It's that
Pretty
robust, huh?
extensive. In reality, it probably takes you 15 to 20 minutes, but I really want to know everything because if I'm going to be in your office as part of your online team, I need to know where you're located
Yeah.
and if you're handicap accessible and what your treatment rooms look like
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
all this kind of good stuff.
And make sure if you're using a service like what Beth offers, to update. If you're adding a new service, say you're adding a membership program, let's say, and you didn't have that before when you've hired Beth's company. I think it's important. Do you do checkups on practice? Hey, do you got any new services, or are they just required to update you when they add new services?
We do daily verification website checks. So we go through and we
cool.
make sure that the site is functioning daily. And once a month, we also check to see if they offer online scheduling. We do keep an eye out for new treatments and procedures. I rely heavily on the offices to let me know if there's staffing or if they're closed for a snowstorm. Now, I'm in Denver, but if I have a client in, upstate New York and he doesn't let me know that there's a massive snowstorm rolling in, I have to assume that he's open for the day unless I hear otherwise. We do keep an eye on the weather, but it's impossible for us to know.
Yeah, I would say that sounds impossible.
Without them letting us know. But yeah, we really try. And then if somebody says to us, hey, we saw your flyer for a Groupon, I'll email them and say, hey, do you guys have a Groupon you want to let us know about? But it is best if the practice can, kind of keep us in the loop and let us know so that we are always on top of it and not missing anything or, coming in on the backside. We never want to be behind the eight ball.
You're an extension of the practice, the online portion. I think that's every practice needs to have something like this, some system like this in place, to talk with their potential patients and existing patients online, make it easier. Beth, what are some of the problems that you see that live chat helps solve for dental practice?
Well, believe it or not, probably 95% of your qualified patients, maybe even higher than that, are actually chatting during the hours that the practice is open. And that has nothing to do with the in-office team's availability or, responsiveness for phone or email or anything else. Qualified leads are at work and can't always get on the phone.
Absolutely.
So this is an opportunity for them to quickly communicate, reach out, take something off their plate. Hey, I really need to get in for a cleaning, or, I've got a toothache, or whatever it is that they need, but they can't necessarily pick up the phone. In fact, somebody left a comment the other day saying, thank you so much for offering chat. I'm in a really busy workplace.
Yeah.
By the time I get home, I don't want to be on the phone, but I just needed to get this handled, and you did it. So thank you.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's the kind of stuff. So we can really help take some of the load off of people who are in busy workplaces. And if I had $1 for every time somebody said, I'm in a really boring conference call, we could go to Disney. But
that's awesome.
So it's helping the practices answer those basic questions and build those relationships online initially. That's just a huge thing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I've seen that with my own websites. Utilizing live chat is probably the best thing that I have ever done for a tool to help build relationships with people and a tool to help capture leads, because that's in my marketing brain. That's all I think about is how can I generate leads? How can I offer value to generate leads? And I think as a dentist, live chat is perfect, a perfect solution for that on your website, especially if you have a team like Beth's that can help you administer that and manage the time it takes to answer live chat requests on the site. So, Beth, do you have any final thoughts for us?
Well, I just think it's important for people to know that, again, my team is here in the U.S., but we are really customer service oriented, not only to your patients, but also to my clients. And we also really believe in the value of building relationships. I mean, our clients come and stay for a long time because of the way that we treat them as well as their patients. So I do not believe in contracts. All of my
Nice.
clients are month to month. And that is
Likewise.
just because I want to be results driven. And it's important to me that they understand that I'm not locking them in. I'm doing my best to give them great customer service during every single engagement that we have, not only with them, but with their patients as well. So that's, I think I would say, really important for me to know. Every client has a direct number to me. I try to make myself very available so that, if they have questions, they can reach out to me via text, via email, via chat, whatever the method that works best for them.
Awesome.
Just,
No, that's awesome. Yeah, perfect. If you don't mind me asking, what's your pricing for your service there?
That's a good question. So I do have a PPO navigating, dental PPO's special pricing.
Oh, nice.
$99 for the first month. It gets you completely up and running. So it'll carry you through your first full month. And so if somebody starts,
it's a no-brainer.
It is a no-brainer. If somebody starts mid-April, we're getting you through the end of May. And again, there's no contract. So if you decide it's a great fit for you, we continue on. I do tier pricing via engagement after that, so I can email anybody who is interested the pricing.
Yeah, so what's your
And
email?
that includes daily website monitoring. We review all your links on your website, check and make sure everything's working. We do a personalized database for you. That it does include the activation fees and the implementation code. I consult directly with your webmaster and work for them. And I'm there to consult with your team and, get the original onboard call so that we know exactly what to say and, how to best answer questions for your practice.
Very cool. So what's an email address they can contact you for all that information?
They can email me at Beth, Beth, at acechatservice.com.
Awesome. And I'm assuming that's your website as well, acechatservice.com.
Mm-hmm. And my phone number is 720-722-0223. If anybody prefers to text me or call me, that rings right to my mobile. And I'm sure you'll probably include my contact information in the show notes as well. But
yeah, absolutely.
If anybody's listening in the car.
Quick question. Do you guys have live chat on your site?
We do.
I would imagine you would.
And believe it or not, my team, that's their most feared chat. You can throw the book at them for any other website, for any other client, and they'll take it in stride. But they were like, oh no, this could be, a new client for us, and they take it so personally.
That's so funny.
To see them be so sympathetic and so compassionate with every single person that they chat with, and they are really, I gotta tell you, we wouldn't be where we are if I didn't have the amazing group of women behind me, because they just care.
That's
about
awesome.
what they do.
Very
so it's
cool.
neat.
It's good.
It's
good to have a team like that. I've got to the point where we've gotten a team that just they care about all of our customers, and I think that's exactly where you want to be, Beth. I think that's great. So, I highly recommend using Beth and Ace Chat. I've seen what they've done for Ben, and I think they could be a wonderful solution to help you generate leads and build those relationships, starting with your website. So go check our website out. Go do a live chat with their business and their team there, and then set up live chat on your website. So Beth, thanks again for coming on our show today. It was so good seeing you this last weekend, and looking forward to connecting more in the future.
You as well, and take care. Thanks again.
Thank you. And thanks to everyone listening. I hope you guys are doing awesome. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You can email me at Jordan, and that's JORDON, at boomcloudapps.com. I'll be more than happy to share my experience with Beth and her service. And then obviously if you have questions about websites or even about in-house membership programs, would be more than happy to help answer any of those questions. So all of you listeners out there, you have a great day.